You can't make accusations like that without evidence. I assume that you have some.
I've got some bad news.
Software sales across first-party games, Microsoft is dominating. You've got 65 million Halo purchases that have been made over the existence of the IP. And you've got the next closest in Sony, I believe, is 30 or 35 million in Uncharted. That is 2 to 1, and that's 2 to 1 that matters. And you know, the point of the matter is about software sales. And that's where we're going to dive into that today. We really have to look at what's happening here. Microsoft is currently dominating in the Black Ops 3 and in Destiny sales. And in Destiny sales. And in Destiny sales. These are two things that Sony went after for marketing third-party deals. It's a failure as far as I'm concerned. It doesn't matter that you see cardboard cutouts in GameStop. The point of the matter is that people are buying those games for Xbox because shooters belong on Xbox. Shooters belong on Xbox. Shooters belong on Xbox. The point of the matter is it's about software sales. So whenever you want to start talking sales with me, you better have software charts up, not hardware, because you look foolish. You better have software charts up, not hardware, because you look foolish. You better have software charts up, not hardware, because you look foolish. You better have software charts up, not hardware, because you look foolish. You better have software charts up, not hardware, because you look foolish. You better have software charts up, not hardware, because you look foolish.
I'm going to keep it real with you. Look, the Xbox One with cloud computing is way more powerful than the PC and the Titan. And I know I'm going to get some backlash for saying this shit, but it's a fact.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah,
it would
power.
destroy 4 Titans. 4 Titans. 4 Titans.
Why must you turn my office into a house of lies?
Look, I'm fine with turning the other cheek when it comes to people discussing things that have to do with preference regarding different platforms. That makes sense to me. You can't argue about preferences. Each person has their own preference, and their preference is equally valid. I'm not going to argue with anybody on that. But when you're here, wrong about the facts, either because you didn't do enough research or because you're lying, I can't turn the blind eye to that. So, what you just saw were two guys who said two very stupid things. First, we had Mooch, who I didn't hear of until one of my subscribers actually sent me a screen cap where this guy stole one of my thumbnails and used it in his video. He didn't even crop it out. He didn't even crop out the Fringy frequency part. So I'm led to believe that these guys, oh, I'm just irrelevant. And, you know, we don't watch your videos, yet you watch ours, which I don't, because as you can see, I got these videos from Black Bond. But we don't watch you, yet you're using my thumbnail. Suspicious, isn't it? Because how could you get that unless you watch my video? And then he used it to make a really terrible point about media bias against Xbox when last generation there was a very clear, very obvious media bias against PlayStation, yet you guys didn't care. Double standards much? But let's get into it. So he could have had a decent point talking about software sales compared to hardware sales, because software sales matter more than hardware sales. But he went wrong in that he didn't discuss why software sales matter more, as they account for most of the revenue that these console manufacturers make, and he then span it in favor of Xbox when he can't. See, he tried to argue that software sales on the Xbox One are better than that for the PS4. Basically, that's what he was trying to say. He didn't say it directly like that, as he only tried to argue with Call of Duty and Destiny and failed. But let's just get into it. So first, he's there actually wrong about the sales of Halo compared to the PS4's top selling, or the PlayStation brand's top selling franchise, Uncharted, which you should have known was wrong off the bat, because any gamer with worth their salt in terms of gaming knowledge could tell you off the top of their head that Gran Turismo is Sony's biggest franchise. It's one of their oldest, it's their longest running at the moment, and it's just well known that it is. It's like the most popular racing game on the planet. And even in 2012, before Gran Turismo 6 released, the software sales of Gran Turismo are higher than Halo now. And the comparison to Uncharted is unfair because Uncharted started in 2007, Halo started in 2001, there are 4 Uncharted games, there are 9 Halo games. Unfair comparison. But then we continue to just have his point demolished. See, when it comes to the PlayStation, right, even with Destiny, when it was well known that Destiny outsold the Xbox One version 2 to 1, This was well known. And even with Call of Duty, we knew that it sold better on the PS4. That is why Activision shifted their marketing deal to PlayStation. That's why. Because the sales were better on the PlayStation. They want to capitalize that by having the DLC on the most popular platform where it's going to sell best anyway. That's going to further boost their sales. Think. And then even when we look at other games, even games that had Xbox marketing deals, like The Witcher 3, that was outsold 3-1 on the PlayStation 4. Oh, and also double standard right there, because you guys were fine with these marketing deals when they were on Xbox, and you said they worked, but now that they're on PlayStation, you're silent about it. I don't even like marketing deals, but they're clearly working. But, with all of that said, you were entirely wrong. You are entirely wrong. And then you tried to argue, oh no, I only care about North America. North America is only where it matters. So apparently I don't matter. Any of my subscribers, the many of you that live in Europe, you don't matter. Any of you who live elsewhere in the world, you don't matter. According to this guy. Arrogant. It's very self-centered. It's a very stupid thing to say. Now, and it's funny because you say this when you are friends with people who live in the UK. Like our next idiot, Iron Wolf, who talks with an American accent in videos, yet is British. Now we've got him out here talking about the cloud more. I mean, it wasn't bad enough that he deleted his video in response to me about the cloud because I guess my response was too hard to debunk. But then you've got him here saying that the cloud will outperform 4 Titans. Titans, people. 4 Titans. Do I even really need to explain this? Do I need to explain this? Like, really? The Xbox One's gonna be running games on the PC at 4K, at 500 frames per second, I suppose, right? Like I said, I'm not going to argue with you over preference, but when you're here lying and you've got your subscribers saying, great video, good job, that's where I take issue. You wouldn't stand for it if some idiot was there saying that Transformers Age of Extinction won more Oscars than The Return of the King, and people are like, yeah, he's right, The Return of the King sucks. Would you just be like, well, that's fine. Why should I care that he's lying and making people think a good movie sucks and that a bad movie's good? Same sort of deal. And I can't stand it. I really can't.